secrets for commanding attention and getting results. Think about the leaders you admire. What sets them apart? Chances are, it's their communication skills. Great communicators naturally rise to leadership because they have the ability to articulate a clear vision, inspire action, and motivate others. These are the people who can make their message resonate, whether through quiet strength or infectious energy. Now consider their communication styles. Each leader communicates differently in a way that feels authentic to them. It's not about following a script. It's about speaking from the heart. When leaders are genuine, people listen. That's the key to powerful communication, being true to yourself. If you want to communicate like a leader, it's not about learning tricks or formulas. It's about discovering your own authentic voice. This guide will help you uncover communication strategies tailored to your personal style, showing you how to connect with others in a way that feels natural and impactful. Dive in and learn how to lead with your own voice. Speak like a leader. American lawyer and author James Humes famously said, "Every time you have to speak, you are auditioning for leadership." So why not aim high and speak as if you're auditioning for the top role, CEO? What sets great leaders apart is their ability to communicate authentically. Effective CEOs don't follow a rigid script. They lean into their own unique voice and style. Authentic communication helps build trust and credibility with teams, stakeholders, and the public. No wonder communication is often the biggest part of a CEO's job. Take Mike Eskew, former CEO of UPS. A typical day for him involves constant communication, informal chats with drivers in the morning, focus groups with managers, one-on-one meetings with customers, speaking with the press, and hosting town hall meetings. His schedule revolves around listening and speaking, highlighting just how essential communication is at the leadership level. A study by Bates Communication found that to be perceived as an authentic and powerful leader, you need to project integrity, vision, emotional intelligence, clarity, and follow-through. To do this effectively, leaders need to be open and share a bit of themselves, being vulnerable when necessary. This authenticity is what earns the trust and loyalty of their teams. It's also important to remember that no one is a natural-born speaker. Many CEOs will admit they initially disliked public speaking. Like any other skill, it takes practice. The key is to view your communication abilities as assets. Start by assessing your communication style. Ask for feedback, listen carefully, and look for opportunities to improve. Every chance to speak, whether it's a weekly meeting or a high-stakes presentation, is a chance to refine your skills and grow your influence. Learn the secrets of top communicators. What sets top-level communicators apart? Here are 8 secrets that CEOs use to make an impact every time they speak. Secret number 1, talk about big ideas. Every speech or presentation should center around one big idea. Big ideas stick with people and have a life of their own. You don't need to overcomplicate it. Take Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address during the American Civil War, where he defends the ideal of liberty. At just 3 minutes long, it's one of the most powerful speeches in history, proving that brevity and clarity win out over length. Secret number 2 for impactful speeches is to speak in the moment. While preparation is crucial, the moments that often resonate most are those that feel authentic and timely. Look at leaders like Barack Obama. He had prepared speeches, but his off-the-cuff remarks often captured the moment's emotion. Secret number 3 is this: keep it simple. Complicated messages get lost. When your message is simple and clear, it's more likely to be remembered and acted upon. CEOs know that simplicity is key to being understood and followed. Secret number 4, be a straight shooter. Good communication isn't just about sounding great, it's about telling the truth. Employees want leaders who are transparent, even when the news isn't good. Address tough issues head-on rather than sugarcoating them. The 5th secret for impactful speaking is to be an optimist. While honesty is essential, it's equally important to keep hope alive. People follow leaders who can balance realism with optimism, inspiring them to believe in better outcomes. Secret number 6, focus on the future. Even in tough times, strong leaders focus on the future. A clear vision for what lies ahead motivates employees to work toward a shared goal. Now, for impactful speaking secret number 7, be real. People may feel distanced from you as a CEO. Break that wall by being relatable, whether through humor, shared experiences, or self-effacing comments. Authenticity builds connection. And finally, we have secret number 8, which is to stand for something. As CEO, you are the embodiment of your company's mission. Every word and action should reflect that. When you stand for something meaningful, people will rally behind you. Give speeches like a CEO. Want to give a speech like a CEO? Start with one goal in mind: delivering a clear and memorable message. Your core takeaway should be the centerpiece of your speech, guiding everything you say. But how you present that message is just as important. Here's how to make your speech stand out. Start with a story. One of the most effective ways to captivate an audience is by telling a story. It should have conflict, suspense, and detail that naturally introduces your topic. Don't be afraid to share something personal. It helps the audience feel connected to you. But avoid making yourself the hero of the story. Instead, focus on how the experience shaped your perspective. This balance keeps you relatable without coming across as arrogant. As well as having a story, you'll need to talk about your audience. A great speech isn't a monologue, it's a conversation. Show your audience you're speaking to them, not at them. Reference their city, their company, or their contributions. If you can, mention specific people or projects. When you make the speech relevant to them, they'll feel valued and more engaged. And use humor wisely. Humor creates an instant connection, but you don't need to be a stand-up comedian. Lighten the mood by poking fun at shared challenges or making a self-deprecating joke. Take a page from Abraham Lincoln, who famously said, "If I were two-faced, would I be wearing this one?" This quip is witty, disarming, and shows he wasn't afraid to laugh at himself. Just remember this: avoid making jokes at others' expense. Another technique for when you speak is using analogies to simplify complex ideas. Analogies can turn abstract concepts into something relatable. Think of the classic comparison: the internet is like an information superhighway. It's an easy way to convey a complicated idea in a way people can instantly understand. Facts can also add weight to the message in your speech, as long as you bring them to life. For example, if you're discussing productivity, you could mention that UPS delivers 24 million packages every day. But don't stop there. Attach a story to it. Talk about a delivery driver's journey to make it personal, making the fact not just memorable, but impactful. With these elements, your next speech will resonate with your audience and leave a lasting impression. Give presentations like a CEO. A presentation, according to the dictionary, is something offered or given, a descriptive or persuasive account. Think of your presentations as a gift, a transfer of knowledge or insight from you to your audience. Whether you're speaking to the board, staff, or investors, your role is to help your audience grasp key concepts, often backed by supporting data or visuals. So how can you best give this gift? To give your listeners your very best, put in some dedicated preparation before you come to present. Don't jump into drafting straight away. Start by clarifying your topic and setting an agenda. But here's a critical step: compare your agenda with your audience's needs. If they don't align, throw out your agenda. You already know your points, but the presentation should revolve around what your audience needs to hear. Address their concerns, whether it's about costs, benefits, or success metrics. On the topic of preparation, you're probably wondering, to PowerPoint or not to PowerPoint? While slides can be useful for visual information, they can also be distracting. So use these kinds of software sparingly, and when you do, opt for visually impactful slides that enhance your message rather than overcrowding them with text. Now you're ready to draft your message. As you do this, opt for inclusive language. Use words like you, yours, ours, and us to show the audience you're on the same team. Being inclusive helps foster connection. Also, keep your audience on their toes by being unpredictable. Ask for input, pose questions, tell jokes, or share anecdotes. This keeps them engaged and focused on what you'll do next. Now, inclusive language matters, as does phrasing. The right phrasing can make a significant impact. For example, Mercedes-Benz used to sell leased cars as reconditioned used cars. When they changed the term to certified pre-owned vehicles, sales surged from 452,839 to over 1 million in 5 years. The right words can completely shift perception. Also, on the topic of word choice, try and use snappy phrases for key ideas. While you want to avoid jargon, giving a concept a catchy name or phrase can make it more memorable. Think of it as a branding exercise for your ideas, something that sticks with your audience long after the presentation. By focusing on your audience's needs, using visuals wisely, and keeping them engaged, you'll deliver a presentation that truly resonates. Lead meetings like a CEO. Meetings in many workplaces can feel like a necessary evil, but with the right communicator at the helm, they can be impactful and productive. So here's how to lead a meeting like a CEO. A successful meeting begins in the pre-meeting phase. The first question to ask is this meeting necessary? If it can be postponed or handled through other means, consider canceling it. When a meeting is essential, be selective about who attends. Only invite key stakeholders and contributors to keep it focused and efficient. A well-structured agenda is a powerful tool for running an effective meeting. Include time limits for each agenda item and ensure discussions don't drift off topic or overrun. That doesn't mean you stick to the agenda like a robot, though. Some chit-chat can help build rapport and break the ice. Once your meeting is in session and you're running through that agenda, actively foster balanced participation. It's easy to let vocal individuals dominate the conversation, but a successful meeting is one in which all stakeholders are heard. So use stock phrases to draw quieter participants into the discussion. For example, Sharon and I discussed this before the meeting. Sharon, would you like to share your thoughts? Or Juan, I noticed you're shaking your head. Do you disagree? This encourages everyone to contribute, ensuring a diversity of perspectives. Of course, with everyone participating in the meeting, it's possible that conflict will arise. Don't shy away from it. When handled properly, disagreements can be productive and lead to better solutions. Create a safe environment where people feel comfortable expressing dissent. Encourage everyone to have a voice by using decision-making tools like evaluation sheets or grids. Finally, try to summarize key points throughout the meeting. This helps keep everyone on the same page and come toward a consensus. Consensus, you should remember, isn't about eliminating conflict. It's about finding an acceptable resolution. If the group can't reach consensus organically, it's your role as the leader to step in and make the final decision. Speak with the media like a CEO. Speaking with the media can be intimidating, but if you're a CEO, it's a crucial part of your role. Whether you're giving an interview or holding a press conference, you're representing your organization's voice and values. To ensure success, here are some key tips to help you speak like a CEO when engaging with the press. Before any media engagement, focus on 2 or 3 key talking points. These should be clear, concise, and easy to understand, even for those unfamiliar with your industry. Make complex topics more digestible, and don't shy away from sharing your perspective. The media thrives on opinions, and by expressing yours, you can position yourself as a thoughtful leader in your field. During your engagement, use flags to highlight important messages. A flag is a conversational tool that signals you're about to say something important. Phrases like, "The most valuable lesson here is," or "It's important to clarify," cue the reporter and audience to pay attention to your next point. Flags are especially useful when you want to emphasize a critical message. Just as flags emphasize important issues, conversational bridges can serve to guide the discussion back to those key talking points. Sometimes reporters may ask questions that lead the conversation in a direction you'd rather avoid. Instead of dodging the question, address it briefly, and then use a bridge to guide the conversation toward your talking points. For example, after a quick response, you might say, "What's important to remember is," or "We're happy to report that." This keeps you in control of the narrative while still addressing the reporter's inquiries. If you've watched even a few interviews with CEOs, you'll probably have heard them say, "No comment," in response to an uncomfortable question. This is a mistake. Saying no comment makes you look defensive or evasive, even if you have nothing to hide. Instead, offer an acceptable explanation without revealing sensitive information. You can say something like, "We're still gathering details on that," or "I'm not able to discuss that right now, but I can share that." With proper preparation and a few conversational strategies up your sleeve, you can turn even the most intimidating media encounter into a productive conversation. That's how you do it like a CEO.